Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the DC Podcast. We are here with Matthew Hydock with the Carolina Courage. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, I'll let Matthew introduce himself, and we'll go from here.
Hey, good morning. Matthew Hydock. I'm the Senior Account Executive for the North Carolina Courage and North Carolina SC soccer clubs. We are located in Cary, North Carolina, playing at Wake Met Soccer Park. A little bit of background about me is I grew up in West Virginia for 18 years and went down to Myrtle Beach shortly after to Coastal Carolina University for recreation and sport management. What led to that was, in West Virginia, you got a handful of options. You go in the mines, you learn a trade, or you go in the military. I fell in love with sports from a very young age. Baseball in the spring and summer, basketball in the fall and winter. My mom told me she did that to keep me out of trouble. So it had just turned into a passion of what I wanted to do. So worked in the athletic department as well at Coastal Carolina University during their transition from FCS to FBS in athletics.
Oh, that's big time.
So that was a very unique, cool experience to be a part of, learning to build something from the ground up.
What did you do with their athletic department?
I was in their ticket department, so mainly ticket operations.
Only the football team?
Well, I did all sports. So football, our ticketed sports were football, basketball, and baseball.
Nice.
Not a lot of people know Coastal has a very good baseball program.
They won in College World Series, right?
Yep, 2016.
Yeah. Were you there for that?
I was at school for that. I was not in Omaha, but I remember exactly where I was. I remember the ground ball to third, and the throw to first, and I don't really know what happened after that. I just remember jumping around and screaming, and I was so happy for a small school in Conway, South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what led me to the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, which is where I watched that World Series. It's the minor league affiliate of the Cubs for the MLB, and that's where I really got my professional start, doing ticket sales, being focused on the community, doing everything I can to help fans as I would help like my own family.
Yeah, and we've gotten that help because Matthew here, he's a familiar face to Burlington. He used to work with the sock puppets as well. And our first experience when we met you was you helped us when we were on our way to England with a fundraiser. It was in the Joes versus Pros game. A certain amount of that money went to the Dream Center, and so we're very thankful for that. Because that was a big chunk of help. For the boys, they have to live an experience that nobody can take away from them. Playing in England. So what's your new role now? Where are you at?
Yeah, so I'm the Senior Account Executive with the Courage and NCFC. And my big thing is all about community, and that aligns with our organizational values. We're all about community impact and doing whatever we can to help local businesses, nonprofits, organizations within the community to achieve their goals. I know we'll touch on that later, what we're doing with you guys, but that's truly who we are. We're a community-first organization that we've been here for a while, and we're ready to take that next step in terms of community partnerships and relationships.
Yes. So before we get into what you guys are going to be doing for us this summer, can you explain a little about NCFC and the Carolina Courage?
Yeah. So the North Carolina Courage is our women's team. They play in the National Women's Soccer League, which is the top tier of professional women's soccer in the United States. We have 9 players who have different nationalities, so we're very well represented globally. And we already have 2 championships as well. So I know the Courage came back in, I believe, 2017. So to have 2 championships, and we have all the momentum in the world to add a third this season.
Nice.
For the NCFC side, that stands for North Carolina FC, which not a lot of people know about. We also have that is our men's team, and they're only a couple years old. For North Carolina FC, but in that short time, they have won championship. They've been promoted to the USL Championship Series in the United Soccer League, and some bragging rights. We beat Charlotte FC back in February during that exhibition, which that was an incredible game.
Man, I had a tournament, I couldn't go, man.
Charlotte FC, they brought some players. They had, if I remember correctly, David Beam from the U.S. men's national team. He played the whole first half.
Yeah.
And we gave him.
I came on. I think he was there too. He's the current striker for the U.S. national team also.
Yeah. So. And he got shut out.
Yeah.
And in some news with North Carolina FC, I believe it was last week, USL owners voted to bring promotion and relegation to the United Soccer League. So that's going to definitely promote some healthy competition.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're looking forward to seeing not only where North Carolina FC goes, but where the USL goes as well.
Yeah, I was actually going to talk to you about that because so the USL is also going to get Division I sanctioning. So they're going to have a league that's going to compete with the MLS. And, like most leagues in the world, promotion and relegation is really important for youth development and for club development. So being able to see that, hopefully we have 2 first division teams here in North Carolina with Charlotte FC and NCFC. That'd be great. And because that opens up the door to many things, right? Like now here in Burlington, we got Burlington United. We just did a podcast last week with Nick Stardifin, the owner of Burlington United. Seeing semi-professional soccer here in Burlington is going to be great. People don't have to travel far. If you watch a fan experience, like we were talking about earlier, but going to see a first division team that's 45 minutes away, you can't beat that.
No. Yeah. No, it's and that goes back to us being, community first. We want people not just in the Cary-Raleigh area to come out. We're reaching out to Durham, Apex, over here in Burlington, Greensboro. We have season members and plane holders that they drive literally from Virginia, from 3, 4, 5 hours away, every Friday or Saturday, or every other Friday or Saturday, depending on our schedule, because of the experience that we can provide for them.
And the experience is great, man. You were able to have us out there this weekend, me and my family. And man, the atmosphere was amazing. The home opener for the Courage, I couldn't make it to the NCFC's home opener, but the Courage, man, it was a record-setting crowd, right?
Yeah, and I'll start off by saying, like, in my 10 years of working in sports now, it's already been 10 years, that was probably the most unique, awesome opening day experience I've ever had. And we had, I have a figure here, we had 8,158 people there.
Wow.
Which is the largest home opener crowd in Courage history. And that really goes to the great team that we have. And
Yeah.
I'll shout out a few of them. It does start off with our leadership. When the season started to roll around, we had a very detailed plan of we're going to improve the fan experience 100-fold. We're going to make sure that they have a great time, a great value, that it's a great place for soccer fans and families to come. So I did want to shout out our Chief Operating Officer, Ralph Buono. He's been an incredible support beam for the entire organization, not just from the sales side, but for marketing, operations, everything. And then my immediate bosses, our director of ticket sales, Alex Benston, and our senior manager of ticketing, Austin Fetzer. They have really helped us on a day-to-day basis of taking fan feedback and creating unique offerings around value and community to try and get the word out, because a lot of people don't know, even in Cary, where we're located, they still don't know who the Courage are. We went to Apex the other day, and there's businesses there that have been there 15, 20 years that are like, oh, I've never heard of the Courage in my life.
Wow.
So it's, but we have a ton of momentum from that strong season opener. We We weren't able to pull out the win, but what an incredible atmosphere.
Oh man, it was great. Like I was telling you earlier, my kids haven't stopped talking about it. They've watched the replay, I don't know how many times already. My little one, he was in TV right before the second half. He was by the tunnel waiting for the players to come by. As I gave him a high five, and then I don't know, that replay has been on loop pretty much the whole time ever since.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, man.
That really takes it to we do have. Although we do have stars, like Jayden Shaw, which we acquired in the offseason. She's
20 years old?
20. When we get a little bit more chemistry, watch out.
Yeah.
Casey Murphy's locking down the goal. We had our Ring of Honor ceremony for Jess McDonald, who was a longtime member of the Courage. And ultimately that ties into our theme for this year, and it's playing on the video behind us. It's, the Courage is a Courage game or North Carolina FC game. It's the place to be.
Yeah.
And what we mean by that is it's the hottest ticket in town in terms of value and experience.
Yeah.
And just to touch on that, and we talked a little bit about it with Charlotte FC. You go, first off, you're driving 2 hours in traffic on 40, which is never fun. You're paying $30, $40, $50 to park before you're even in the door. You're paying $100 a ticket, probably just to get in the door. When you can not pay for parking with the Courage or NCFC, and our tickets are a steal.
Yeah, and I mean the experience itself is really good because in the stadium you don't really have a bad seat. I've had the pleasure of going to Wake Med, a lot of times before in the past. Back when NCFC was the Carolina Railhawks, I went there when they played West Ham United, DeLuca, Southampton. I think it was the last game, the last international friendly game that I went to. But
there's a Southampton or West Hampton, I believe.
It was one of them, yeah. Because I remember Jude Bellingham's brother was in the other team, and the boys were going crazy about that. And we went to that game, but going to the Courage game this past weekend, the atmosphere was insane, man. It was really, really good. And that was my first time ever going to a Courage game or a women's professional game in general. And it was great to see because women's sports in general are growing, right? But we still want to get more girls to participate. We have a girls division here. We don't have a lot of players. It'd be great for them to see a Courage game. Plus, it's very affordable, and just to see what women can do, the way they play, the way they move the ball, and everything, and it's the representation for them. It's great. I mean, it's motivating, I would say.
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. Whether it's on the sideline or the end line, you have a terrific view.
Yeah.
Watching those women on the field, they're not only great players, but they're fantastic role models for the younger generations. Adding on to the game day experience, we have stuff for everyone, whether you're just a fan, whether you're bringing your family. We have Fan Fest right outside the main gate, food trucks, different vendors, merchandise, activities for the kids. We have free face painting. We have, you name it, like we probably have it.
Yeah. And then for the holders, they also, want to get a little drink or something. It's quite affordable too. I think it was too bad. And then but so going on to the tickets at the end zone, we're gonna have some familiar faces there May 17th. You wanna talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna have everyone from the Dream Center there, hopefully.
Yeah.
So May 17th is gonna be a very special day. We are putting in partnership with the Dream Center North Carolina Courage, we're putting together a fundraiser for the Dream Center, and you guys are looking to finalize your acquisition and everything for your all's own soccer field, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. What are some just additional details about what you're trying to do with the field?
So we this year we're playing under the Triangle United umbrella. The city's been great, right? We've been able to use the city fields. However, we were kind of late, so we're playing our home games in Chapel Hill right now. But our plan is to have our own field. I think we've outgrown our little field that we have here, our indoor field, and we want our own field, full size, 11v11, something that we can control, that we can open up to families, to the community, that to use as well. So it's a talk that we've had, and it's hopefully by next year we could say that we have our own field, the Dream Center's field, and like it's going to be open to the community. It's going to be open to our teams. We're going to have a place to call home, and then just open it up, let people play in it. I mean, let them enjoy, and it's not just going to help the Dream Center, but I think it's going to help everybody around.
Absolutely, and I'm very passionate about what we're trying to do on May 17th, because in the couple years I've known you, there's been a consistency of focus and drive, which I admire and respect. It's if there's a vision for the Dream Center or that you have for your teams, that you do darn near anything to make that happen. And that's really spoken to me, and that's why on May 17th, which is also Star Wars night,
Yes.
So whether it's Darth Vader or Yoda or whoever your favorite Star Wars character is, dress up, participate. It's going to be fun. We will be playing I believe it's the Chicago Red Stars.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different time for a kickoff than usual. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff instead of 7. Our parking lot does fill up, so please get there early. I would say get there probably around 3:30. That's when the gates open and when our Fan Fest starts as well.
Princess Leia in a Courage uniform?
That will work.
We can see I can talk to marketing, see what we can do. And we talked a little bit about pricing. It's only $31 a ticket for everyone. And that's for a top tier professional sporting event.
Yes.
That's you're not going to find, you're going to pay more to park at like Charlotte FC than what you would pay for a ticket with us.
Yeah.
A good portion of that ticket revenue is going to directly benefit the Dream Center. And I know we were talking earlier, we have quite a hefty goal ahead of us. We have 1,000 tickets that we need to fill up that north end line with.
But I know we have at least 1,000 people here at the Dream Center that are willing to help. And I mean, this is for, like I said, for our community. Number one, the experience. You can't beat the experience.
No.
It's great. The value, and then everything's going to come back to us. So
absolutely, we're passionate about growing the game in any way we can, especially if it's kind of right here in our own backyard. So
absolutely,
we're very thankful to partner with the Dream Center, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that this thing is the biggest success that we can make it.
No, and we really appreciate you, man. Like I said, ever since you were with the sock puppets, you've been a blessing to us, man. And now with the Courage, even better. But I mean, you want to talk to us about your experience? How's your experience been transitioning from the sock puppets, to the Courage now?
Yeah, it's been a step up. Obviously the Courage are a top tier professional organization. Ever since joining the Courage and NCFC, seeing the passion that soccer fans have, seeing how much of an impact soccer has, like in the local community, it's been huge and really opened my eyes to want to learn more about soccer and do all I can to help our local communities.
It's perfect timing too to get into soccer, man, because everything that's going on right now. Like, for example, we got the Club World Cup that's coming to the U.S. this year. There's a couple games that I believe are going to get played here in Charlotte for the Club World Cup. I can't remember which teams are going to be there. Mexico is playing in Chapel Hill in June.
Ooh, I know you'll be there.
Oh, yes, absolutely, man. I recommend it. One of the best atmospheres you ever get to experience. And then the World Cup is coming next year. And I believe I saw a report saying there's bidding for the Women's World Cup in I think it's 2031, I believe, for it to be played here in the U.S. also. And so
that'd be huge.
Oh yeah, big time. And then I mean, I know Wakeman Soccer Park it's a smaller venue, right? 10,000 people, but it's a great atmosphere there. But you guys have had a share of international teams coming here, right? We talked about Southampton, West Ham. I think Monterey played last year here as well.
It was a couple years ago, but I believe that's the last international experience that we've had over at that park. I know we host Wake Met Soccer Park also hosts the College Cup for the college national championships for Division I men's soccer. But I know that we have a couple things in the works to look at some sort of international friendlies that are coming our way. But for now, we're kind of sticking with our NWSL schedule.
Nice. And then the TSTs also played at Wake Med, the 707 tournament for $1 million.
Wake Med is, it's pretty much all soccer all the time.
Yeah.
It's whether it's the Courage, NCFC, you mentioned TST or the men's games. It's always in use.
Let me tell you a funny story about TST, the first tournament. All right, so I signed up to be a volunteer, and so I was excited. I remember talking to Michael and Pastor Lisa about, I'm gonna be there because it was like some important players that were Seth Fabregas and a couple others. But Seth, I was a huge Seth Fabregas fan, so I was like, I'm gonna be there, right? I can't remember what we had here that Friday. If it was a game or something, we had something, right? I overslept, man. So I was bummed, man. I was bummed because I was like, I'm gonna meet Seth Fabregas, one of my childhood heroes, whatever. I overslept, man. I couldn't live with it. And then the next day, my friend, he used to work here too, Masi. He was also a host for the podcast. Shout out to Masi. But he was gonna go the next day, and the same thing happened to him.
Oh no!
So neither one of us got to experience the TST. But this year, hopefully, we'll be there. And then also, they announced the Carey Cup, which is similar, just for youth. And so hopefully we get some of our Dream Center teams to enter that team and enter that tournament. And then the championship games are going to be played right before the semifinals for the TSC at Wake Med in the stadium. So it's going to be a pretty cool experience. Fingers crossed.
They keep the town of Cary busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You mentioned youth, and we're fortunate enough to have North Carolina FC Youth as well. It's thousands of kids across the region, and if you're on the fence, if your child has brought up soccer, if you're on the fence about participation, go ahead. Soccer is in such a beautiful place right now.
Yeah.
And it's in a healthy spot, which is very important.
Yeah.
And getting that next generation involved and seeing the progression from where soccer was even 20 years ago, from both the men's and women's perspective, seeing that transition to where it's at now, it's incredible. And as we get that next generation ready, I know you all have leagues here, obviously, but the game continues to grow, and we're so excited to see where it's going to transform to.
I mean, I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were saying before you would see baseball fields everywhere, right, in the United States, and now it's soccer fields. You see a lot of soccer fields. Like I've mentioned, we got the opportunity of working with Triangle United right now, and where we play with them in their league. We mainly play in the Chapel Hill area. But there's so many parks, and this weekend we just played. I think it's Southern Community Park. I think it was called. Really, really nice park. But it was my first time playing there, and I was like, man, this place is nice. And then we play Homestead Park. Turf Field is really nice. Then we Rainbow Fields, and all over the place. It's really nice. And I went to in not in Cary, but in Raleigh, WRAO Park. Man, that place is massive. It's huge, and great fields too. I think most of them are turf. Some of them are grass. And then Wake Med. So when I was in high school, I went to Cummings High School. Raleigh Charter was one of the schools that was in our conference, and we used to play games at Wake Med. And one of the games we played was on the field right next to the stadium. And I was telling my kids about that, and they're like, "You're lying. You never played it." I was like, "I did, but I promise you." But it was in high school. But beautiful facility, man.
You didn't have smartphones back then to document.
Exactly.
Those fields over there, obviously the North Carolina Courage and North Carolina FC, that's where they practice, but we also utilize those fields some for our youth teams and other areas. But it's, I know when I was growing up in elementary school, we had a soccer field in the community, but it was more, here's a field, like, go have fun. But now, like as you said, like, there's a lot more development.
Yeah.
There's the fields look nicer if they're not already turf. Equipment is better, provided is better, and towns and communities are really getting behind the sport and kind of, I would say, putting their money where their mouth is, so to speak.
Absolutely. I mean, even here in Burlington, growing up, the only place we had here was Joe Davidson Park. And they had, I think, 3 fields only at the time. And now you have Springwood. Springwood now has a turf field too. The city has done a good job with that. And then we have Fairchild not too far from here. Hopefully down the line when we have our own field too, there's just going to be, more opportunities, because that's one of the coolest things, man, that you see. You go into a soccer field at a local park, you see it full of kids, better them playing soccer, just having fun with their friends than being out there doing dumb things, especially the way the world is right now. And I think sports teaches you so much, discipline, hard work, responsibility, stuff like that. And so better to just keep these kids busy.
Yeah, although I didn't play soccer just outside of like recess, I know I would not be where I am today without the skills I learned doing team sports. Like I said, baseball in the spring, summer, basketball in the fall and winter. Having the discipline, the teamwork, the life lessons that you learn going through season after season, handling different scenarios, and just being able to learn how to persevere through those, that really sets you up for life. And I know, watching some of our youth clubs, soccer is a fantastic tool to help do that as well.
Yeah. And then, back to attending professional games too. A lot of times you get experiences that could, shape you. Like I mentioned to you before, Nelson Blanco used to be an NCFC player. We went to one of the games a couple years back, and he saw some of our guys with El Salvador shirts, and he went over there, talked to them and stuff like that. Those kids are his fans for life now, and it kind of sets that representation of, hey, I want to do that too. Like with the Courage now, I'm about to have a little girl, she's going to be born in a few weeks now. And I mean, seeing that, I was just kind of picturing, and the boys were also saying, Armando, Eliani's going to be here one day, the little sister. So it's pretty cool picturing all that. And so now we have even more opportunities with Burlington United. They're a semi-professional team, but here in Burlington, people are going to watch and play. You got baseball kids to go to the sock puppets game all the time, wishing they could play there. But now we get the same opportunity with soccer, right? And then 45 minutes down the road, you can watch. Hopefully now with the promotion relegation coming in the USL, NCFC plays Division 1, or even now in the championship. It's a possibility for the kids to represent their state, and with the women too. Especially at the top level. I mean, you can't go higher than the NWSL.
No, and although the league's in a great spot, I think last week Denver just announced they got a expansion franchise as well down there. As the league's in a healthy spot, it's only going to continue to grow, which will provide more and more opportunities within those communities.
Yeah, nice. Now, we had also talked about something with our kids, right? A possibility of them having an on-field experience. It was sell a certain amount of ticket sales.
Yeah, if we can crush Armando's goal of 1,000 tickets sold, we will bring all the kids over here at the Dream Center out to one of our North Carolina FC games, and be able to have them have some pretty unique on-field experiences with those professional athletes. Possibly get some autographs. Just make it a true day about them.
Nice. That's exciting. Talking about a day that would change your life, that could be something.
Yeah,
something great for the kids.
And that goes back to our community first approach. Was we want the youth especially to have special experiences.
Yeah.
Because I know growing up, when I went to minor league baseball games, I was fortunate enough to have a couple go on the field, play a couple like those in-between inning games. And we try to do that. Obviously, there's no, like, other than halftime, there's no real breaks in soccer.
Yeah.
So we, during halftime and pregame, we try to fill that with what can we do for the youth of the community? What can we do for the kids that this is their first game? What can we do that?
I saw some of that this past game. There was a bunch of kids lined up right before the game started when the players were walking out.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
Our fan tunnel, our player walkouts were, we get kids to walk out with the players themselves, stay there on there for the national anthem. You saw the big circle banner.
Yeah.
We had at midfield. We have a handful of different things that we can get the kids involved in.
Nice. Sounds pretty cool. Well, Matthew, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just a couple things. If you have plans on May 17th, cancel them. They're not better than coming to the North Carolina Courage game, May 17th, 5 p.m. kickoff. 3:30, everything gets started. Fan fest, gates open. That's when the fun really happens. You're not going to find a more affordable ticket anywhere.
And no better seats too. They're right behind the goal, like right behind.
You are right up near the action.
Yeah.
You
up close and personal.
Don't be looking down at your phones because you might get hit with a soccer ball. But it's the Courage and North Carolina FC, the Wake Met Soccer Park. It's the place to be, and we've put a lot of hard work into making it that from a fan experience perspective. And you saw that come to fruition on Saturday, and we're so excited for the rest of the season and to be able to partner with you all on everything. And you heard Armando, 1,000 tickets.
1,000. We can get it done.
We'll have
I know we can.
I believe we'll have the link in the description for you all to purchase.
You do have to buy the tickets through that link. That way, it comes back to the Dream Center.
Yeah. Yes, very important. Please reach out, click the link down in the description, or talk to Armando. He'll provide that link for you. I'm looking forward to breaking some records for you guys.
Oh, that'd be great, man. And I mean, I think our people are gonna love it. The community's gonna love it. Hopefully, it will just be that game, right? We create fans that are gonna last, forever. I wanted to add. The NWSL app is free. So if you want to keep up with the Courage for the rest of the season, you can download the NWSL app. You don't have to pay a subscription for it. You can watch not just the Courage, but any other NWSL game for free. So, and then I know it's also, I think, Paramount Plus and a couple other places that stream the games.
I know we have 1 or 2 games on CBS this year, Ion, and then Paramount Plus is another big broadcaster for us.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we're very thankful for having you here, Matthew, with us. Looking forward to working with you for years to come, man. We appreciate you. You're a blessing to the Dream Center. And I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to the people?
Come out, support. Let's make the Dream Center's dreams come true.
Awesome. Thank you, Matthew.
Appreciate you. As always.